Hi, everybody. So we're going to work on practice C for lesson 86. And so sometimes we're going to see these division problems like fractions. And so we see the x cubed minus 5 in the numerator, big fraction bar, which also means division, and then x minus 2 in the denominator. And so we have to translate that into long division. So I'm going to come down here, where I kind of set it up on my work, and I have a long division bar, okay? So the thing is, and the trick with this one is that we had on our numerator, we had x cubed minus 5, and you see that in pink. But in order for these long division problems to work, they have to have decreasing orders of degrees. Okay, so what that means is that if I don't have an x squared term, I need to create an x squared term. If I don't have an x term, I need to create an x term. And so I add a 0 as the coefficient because we know 0 times x squared just means 0. This is a big math trick to be able to have the right placeholder, but actually not add it or subtract anything from the original problem. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have x cubed minus 0x squared plus 0x minus 5 all divided by x minus 2, which was in the denominator, okay? So again, we think x goes into x cubed how many times, okay? Or another way to think about it is x times what gives me x cubed. And so if you think about it, I've got all my stuff here. I'm sorry, it's going to be a little choppy. I'm trying to keep everything organized for you. If you think it's going to be x squared, okay? And so x squared times x gives me x cubed. All right, so in my next step down, okay, this is what we're going to get. So here, another trick. We have this x squared. Let me find my finger here. My x squared. Now I'm going to have to multiply that times x, and I get x cubed. But guys, I have this minus 2, and I can't just leave it. So I have to distribute the x squared times negative 2, and that gives me negative 2x squared. So that's how I get my x cubed minus 2x squared. Now in long division, we always subtract at this next stage. So I put my subtraction, but I have to remember to subtract it from each of my two terms right here. Okay, so I put those parentheses in so I don't forget. So now in my mind, I'm going to say x cubed minus x cubed. Awesome, that gives me 0, which is what I want. Then I have to say 0x squared minus a negative 2x squared. Minus a negative is going to give me positive 2x squared. So that's what my subtraction is right there. Do you see that? Positive 2x squared. Then I'm going to bring down my 0x squared. Okay? Now I'm going to say x times what gives me 2x squared. We always want that to be exact. So x times 2x gives me 2x squared. So I take my green 2x times my pink x, and that gives me 2x squared. And then I take my green 2x times my negative 2, and that's, oh, I forgot to bring down the 0x, right? Okay. And so I distribute that green across to get 2x squared minus 4x squared. From the 2x times the negative 2 gives me minus 4. Okay. Then I subtract. So I take my 2x minus 2, 2x squared minus 2x squared, and that's going to give me my 0x squared, which I just didn't write. And then I have 0x minus a negative 4x, which is plus, so that gives me my 4x. Then I bring down my negative 5. Okay, bring it down. Next I say, how many times does x go into 4x? Or what times x gives me 4x? So I look, and you should be thinking about this, and it's 4, right? So now I'm going to distribute. I take my 4 times my x, and I get my 4x in blue here, okay? And then my 4 times negative 8 gives me negative 8 Then I subtract. So I have 4x minus 4x. That's going to give me my 0x. And then I can take this away. I can have my negative 5 minus negative 8. That makes a plus 8 to give me my plus 3. Okay? This is the remainder, and we're going to write our remainder as a fraction. So I take my remainder back up to my quotient here, my answer, and I'm going to write that as plus because my remainder was plus 3. So I'm going to write plus 3 over the divisor, to x minus 2. So think about that. Replay this. Write this in your notes. This takes a lot of detail work. Be careful. Remember that when you subtract, you're subtracting everything, so you have to change signs and pay attention to details. Text, email me. Let me know if you're having problems. I will see you next time. Bye.